Hey guys, we're officially live. Hey guys, we're officially live. So, this project is a collaboration between me and this amazing artist, Celeste, and I am recreating her art. Um, I've already been sharing this 3D for a couple of weeks, and we're gonna keep refining her, and we're gonna make the hair, keep working on the hair and skin shader. Hey Steph, good evening. How's it going? Okay, so here is the live view, and this is an example of the render. I am great. Thank you for asking. I'm doing good. So, you can ask away, you can talk to me, you can just watch me. It's whatever you need and whatever you feel comfortable with. I right now will be working on a little bit of continuing her hair. Because as of right now, I just have these strings. And her hair is supposed to look like this. Mm. Mm. So her hair is supposed to look like this. Yes, I do full body. Let me actually show you an example of a full body that I have really quickly. But that full body though is not finished, but it's gonna be one of the closest. Yeah, this is another project that I am working on. I know. It kind of looks like it's finished, but it still needs some work on the realism, some textures. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, this is Keanu Reeves. This is a collab that I'm doing as well. He's almost there. And I really, really appreciate you. Um, but yeah, for this example, obviously I'm working on a likeness of somebody famous. Mm, it's very tricky, but a little by little, it gets more and more realistic. That's the thing about this kind of work, is that it takes time and it takes working a lot and comparing what looks good and what doesn't look good and going back to it and resting your eyes, your brain, and then going back to it with new eyes, um, new perspective. So it all started about, probably want to say about when I was 8 years old is when I started like drawing. So I carry that with me from like drawing and like the realism and then being able to work on realistic art from that, um, which has been quite a while. But 3D faces I've been doing for a year only. And if you if you go through the step by step that I teach, either on my Patreon or here when we're going live, you're gonna be able to achieve that much quicker. Just because there's a lot that I didn't know, and there's a lot of shortcuts that I'm sharing. But yeah, my day work is videography and photography. I've been a videographer and photographer for the past 6 years, and now it's been a year that I've been doing 3D. But like artistic and doing art stuff, I've always been part of my life. But I would say, so it doesn't get too overwhelming, because um, sometimes I feel like we look up to people and we think that it's either impossible or so much work. What I would say for this kind of like 3D artwork and stuff, just like working on references. So like the more references that you have, the easier it becomes, because then it's not about like a guessing game, if you will, and it's more about comparing, and from comparison, then you have more of like tangible things that you can base off, and then transform those comparisons into like actual like numbers and parameters for your artwork. So for example, here we're gonna work a lot with the skin shader, um, which is basically working on the texture, um, of the skin, the eyes, the hair, and we always have examples, um, so we can get closer to reality. So here I'm using her, um, Elle Fanning, as an example, and a bunch of like pictures of her to kind of like base the realism. And then right now, I'm gonna keep doing the hair, which She's supposed to have white hair. So I'm gonna look at both of those while I'm creating it. Um, so the first thing that I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna click on her, and I'm going to disable the hair in particle system. Quick question: how long have you? Are you brand new? Just started 3D? Do you have an understanding of Blender? Um, do you know the particle system and what it is? Because I'm super comfortable with explaining each little thing, but if you don't want me to explain and just kind of like go through it, I can do that too. But I'm more than okay with just explaining every. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, so you're gonna understand like the particle systems and skin shaders and everything. Okay, great. How's it been this journey for you? Do you work full time in 3D? So let me start with the hair. Wow, that's really, really, really cool. That's awesome. Um, yeah, I think there are so many different ways to explore 3D. And I honestly thought that AI would have, at first, I thought AI would have a negative impact on it. But as I, as I'm seeing like artists and they're actually bringing more awareness to 3D, which I think is a good thing. So um, I'm actually very hopeful, and I feel like AI at some point will be more integrated with 3D softwares, so it becomes maybe like easier to achieve realism, but still while still doing 3D. Yeah, I think I still think that 3D is a very promising um, like profession, and the more my videos started going viral a lot because of people like trying to understand like what's AI, what's 3D, and just being like interested on it in general. Um, especially like animations. People really, really like those. Okay, I'm going to create the particle system for her hair. So one thing that I've been doing is on Blender, if you're familiar with particle system, you know that we have two ways of doing children, which is replicating the guides, simple or interpolated. So the first one, simple, is the one that I've been liking or I've been using the most lately because I feel like simple gives you more control over the hair, But when you're learning hair, most people use interpolated because it's I don't know why actually, but you have to basically do wave painting, meaning you have to paint the areas to indicate where the hair is going to grow. And I just like to use the guides, and the hair grows around the guides. Because then I can create almost like string by string, and I think that it's easier to achieve realism that way. Also, when I'm creating hair, I do a lot of layers for one hair. So for example, let me see. Here you can see all of these different layers, just so we can have the eyebrows and the eyelashes. And the reason is because you cannot, within the same particle system, have um different diameter roots or different hair shapes. So if you want to do a thick hair, everything is going to be thick within that particle system. So I like to do multiple because naturally we have different thickness of hair um, in one area. So the same thing goes for the eyelashes, and also obviously the hair at the top. So here I have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Um, different or six different types of hair just for the eyebrows and the eyelashes. And just so I can show each one of them, this is the first. This is for the thicker eyelashes. And this is uh, a medium thickness that goes for the bottom and the remaining of the top. This one is for thick eyebrows. This is medium here at the top, you can see. And then another one, this is for the bottom of the eyebrow. And this is soft hair here on the eyebrow, mainly for this area, just to create a better fade. And then finally, I created another layer of lashes, very, very, very thin, just to kind of like fill it up. And that's the result. And this is the first, very, very, very first strings for the hair. Nothing, barely like started here. And now we're gonna get into it. Okay. So now I'm changing the material to be the same as the hair at the top. And I still have the standard settings, which is 1,000 guides. They call it guides, I think, in Maya, but hair. I think it's just hair strings in Blender, I guess. So 1,000. Um, the length I'm gonna put 0.2. Yeah. Should let me put 0.3. Okay. And steps, can put 7 for the render and 7 for the viewport. So basically what I'm doing here is telling Blender which length I want, which is 0.3, and the quality of the hair. So the more increase the steps, the better the hair is gonna look. And then I like to do B spline, because B spline gives you a more like if you're doing a curve, B spline will smooth it out. So if you're doing or it makes the shapes more organic and avoids the harsh angles or harsh curves when doing hair. So I always like to activate B-spline too. And the thickness, I think I'm gonna go for like a medium thickness. Probably 0.5. 5 is still soft. Let's start with 75. And for this one, I'm gonna do the opposite of what I usually do, because I want to test something new. Usually the root I put as thicker, and the tip I put as 0. That's usually what I do. See here, for example, this hair I put 0.4, which is a very, very, very soft hair, and the tip 0. But now for the top, because I want the hairline to look really, really, really smooth, like real hair, and this hair will be more focused on the hairline, I'm gonna start with 0. So it can look like something like this. This is a better quality. Yeah, this is what we're going for. So first things first, to start combing the hair and to create these guides, I'm gonna set the number to 0. And I'm gonna come to particle edit. So all that I've done so far is created a new particle system, select a hair, put the hair length and the quality, make sure the B-spline is on, and then now we're gonna start creating those hair guides, which then the children will follow. So I want to mirror and I want to preserve the strand lengths and root positions when I am coming. So let's begin. I'm not gonna interpolate right now, because if I do that right now, it's just gonna give me errors. And also want to make sure that my topology mirror is on. Also, another thing to keep in mind is here I have multi-resolution modifier activated. If you don't deactivate it, it will cause you errors. You see how this is not the same when you deactivate it and when you activate it? So you want to make sure that it's deactivated and that the particle system comes before or at the top of the multi-res. So let's do that again. And there you go. We're starting with the hairline, so we want to make sure that it's close enough. Oh, and I'm just adding hair, but because the settings are already right, which for longer hair, depending on how I'm gonna comb it, if the hair has a lot of like curves, I like to put um, more than usual. But for this kind of length, I'll just start with 16 keys, which the keys are these little dots to comb your hair. And the more complex your hair is, the more keys you're gonna want to make the shape that you need. So I'm just gonna keep adding more and more hair. Okay. Now that I have this, I'm gonna select one side, just the tip, Command L to select it all, and I'm gonna start combing. Just like that. Okay. So her hair comes all the way out, and then we're gonna have a braid, which I'll do later on. And now I'm going to select the roots. I'm gonna press Control plus. I'm gonna subdivide, and then I'm gonna comb it up. I'm gonna do that one more time, subdivide and comb it up. Okay. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm going to create the children. So simple, and it's gonna be all messed up like that. And then I'm gonna set the radius to 0, 0, 2. Okay. I'm gonna keep refining so this doesn't look natural. The root Doesn't look natural. Let's do something more like this. And bring it down. Yeah. Now I'm gonna start adding more hair. So here I'm gonna do 20 now. So I'm adding 20 guides at a time. And I'm just gonna add, oh, now I'm gonna do interpolate because I want the next guides that I'm creating to mimic these ones that I already have. So I'm just gonna do this. And I'm actually gonna add, let's put 22 keys. Okay. Okay. Now these hairs that don't look right at all, we're just gonna delete them. And these ones on the other side, they need to be combed. So I'm just gonna select this side and I'm gonna disable the mirror option and I'm gonna comb it. So I'm pressing F just to get more areas, and I'm just gonna do that. Also, I make sure that the strength is around like 0.5 because if it's at 1, anything that I do will like over exaggerate what I'm trying to do. 1 is usually too strong to come here. Okay. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of roughness to it. Just so the hair doesn't look completely straight. So the uniform roughness, I'm gonna do 0.03. I don't love these patches here, so I'm just gonna increase the radius. There you go. Maybe increase the radius a little bit more, just so it blends in better. And now I'm gonna add random roughness to add another layer of frizziness to the hair. Still not enough. Okay, I guess this is better. But her hair is looking so crazy. Oh my god. Her hair is looking so crazy. So it's actually supposed to be, the tips are supposed to be closer together. So let me just choose tips. Now I'm gonna do Control Plus. I'm gonna choose, I'm gonna comb the hair. Just like that. Okay. I still think she looks completely crazy. But let's see. Maybe I have to like bring the hair out more. Hmm. Let's try that. Yeah. Beautiful. She looks so crazy. Um, Let me try less hair. Okay. So if I do less hair, then she becomes bald at the top because of what I did. So what I want to do is bring the strand shape closer to 1. Okay. Then maybe 0.5. Okay. Um, her hair looks so flat, and I need to increase. 7.5. Okay. Yeah, her hair looks too flat, and the I need to make make it look a little bit better. This hairline, I need to refine it. So now let me try and make the radius. Yeah, this radius is better. Let me try a different thickness because I'm not. I really don't like this. 5, 1.1, 0, 1. Yeah, this is more like it. Okay, so now essentially I just gotta work with the top because the top doesn't look good. Okay. Like my biggest problem is with this area right here. I just want it to be nice and curved and not like so much of a square ish kind of shape. Okay. Uh, I feel like these roots they're too far away from each other. So what I'm gonna do is gonna select one side and I'm gonna add more hair. Actually, I'm just gonna select everything. The reason why I like to select everything is because when I'm adding new hair, if for some reason I want to comb just the new hairs, I can just press Control I and the new hair will be selected. But I want to do that with my mirror option. And I'm gonna put maybe 28 so it follows better the curve of the root. And staff, feel free to interrupt me for anything. If there's any detail that you want me to go over, please, you can stop me at any time. Okay. So now I added too much hair. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back here to particle edit. I'm gonna select it all and I'm gonna remove doubles. So that removes the hairs that are too close to each other. And then I'm gonna do 001 and see how that looks. Oh yeah, the render settings are, so I'm using cycles. Uh, I'd like to use my GPU because I got a better GPU. So the renders are faster, but if anything, the CPU. Um, I don't like using denoise. I'm gonna be honest. I'm getting used to it now. For this project in specific, I started using denoise because um, I'm just trying to get closer to that quality of Arnold renderer, and I feel like maybe the denoise is an option that might bring me closer to it. But here on the viewport, I disabled the noise threshold, and the samples are 1,000. And the only other thing that's gonna change the way it looks is the color management. I put AGX, which is um, the new profile that Blender created for the newer 4.0 and forward. So AGX, the exposure 0, gamma 1, And that's it. And also, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a screenshot. Yeah, I'm gonna take a screenshot. I'm gonna save it and put it in the group chat so you can have it. There you go. Her her hair looks so funny. Oh my god. Of course, you're welcome. Um, yeah, how familiar are you with creating hair? Have you done it before? Have you worked with a particle system before? Okay. Yeah, particle systems can be overwhelming. That's why I think that when you create like this, like the simple um, children hair, to me, it's less overwhelming because the the hair is gonna follow a lot more the guides that you're creating rather than interpolated hair. So to me, it's just a less overwhelming of a process. But you still need, it still takes a lot to just like refine everything. And I hope this is something like in the future becomes a lot easier. But it's not too bad, it just takes time. Mm, let me try. So now I'm gonna try different settings to make her hair look better. Uh, and what I'm gonna try next is making her hair even softer. And let's see. If I decrease the amount of children, 2 is too little, 3 is okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with 3. And then we're going to maybe increase again the radius to maybe like 4. Too much. 0, 3. Yeah. Okay. Her hair still looks really flat, really, really, really flat. And it's probably because when you see it from the side, her hair is still very like uniform on the sides. So I'm just gonna do the X-ray view so I can comb all of the strings, and I'm just gonna bring them back and forward at the top and back at the bottom. Do kind of like a curve maybe. Let's see how that looks. Yeah. That is a bit better. And I think I'm gonna also change again the roughness, so that not the roughness, the hair shape, so the tip is not it's not giving me those weird. Yeah. Yeah, her hair really looks a lot better. Though there's still the braids, and in the example, her hair is very flowy because it goes into the sweater. But I don't think I'm gonna do that, just because I am trying as close as I can to bring it to reality, and this is not like a real thing. I think I'm just gonna do her braids falling down her shoulder. And let me see how it looks with those little strings. Yeah. Starting to get somewhere. It's not the prettiest, but we're getting there. Okay. So let me add more hairs here. Just making it fuller. Let's see how that looks better. Still needs more life. Her hair has so much life here. This is just like oh my gosh, it looks so funny. Thank you. Thank you. I always think the hair, especially like longer hairstyles in the beginning, that looks so funny to me. Okay, let's fix. Let's fix. See. Okay. Let me try and curve. Mm. Okay. I liked it before. I like this better. I think that right now, this is probably gonna be it for this layer. And the other parts are probably gonna come from different particle systems. Because essentially, what I want with this base is to make sure that she has the volume of the hair. And the only thing that I want to work on right now is to make these baby hairs going up. Because right now the hair is coming down, and I really like to incorporate this of like the the hairline going up and then down. So let's do that. Okay. I think this is more like it. Okay. Now I'm gonna add more hairs to create this fade that I want to create. Um, which I'm gonna begin by just adding hair in less quantity, so it doesn't look too thick. I'm gonna use the hair that I previously created as a reference. To know when to stop. So let's see how that looks without. Yeah. This does look more natural, but damn. Just let's see. I still feel like her hair looks too thick. I don't know why. Let's try. And let me see what the roughness is doing to her hair. Okay. I like this a lot better for the roots of the hair. For the hair overall, yeah, don't love it, but for the roots of the hair, that looks so much better. So let's see if I change the settings. Because essentially the roughness is creating a little bit of a better fullness. It's making the hair fuller. Yeah. Okay. This is not bad. This is a good balance between. So what I'm doing is essentially random. The more random that the more I increase the value of random, the more. Oh, sorry, I didn't see your question. For skin, do you use different skin types from texture XYZ? Yes, I do. Um, for her, I those are two maps that I actually created from from two different two different skin types. So when I go over my library, 3D. Let me see. Maps. Oh, there you go. I have. Here is what I have from Texturing XYZ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 different ones. This is a combination of this white girl. She has like freckles, and this other white girl that has no freckles. So essentially, I combined them on Photoshop, and I just took the freckles and just put it like right here. And the rest is like from the other girl. Go ahead. Shoot your question. Ask away. But just finishing my answer, and then I created some blemishes like these moles. And I also highlighted those spots that are green spots, blue, and whatnot. Isn't it sometimes harder sculpting from base mesh that looks nothing like the person? It depends on your base mesh. If you're sculpting a man from a base mesh that is a girl, I'd say that's much harder. But if you're doing a man and the base mesh is a man, I'd say it's easier. I used to have a lot of problems with that, but now I created my own base mesh that is a girl, which makes a lot easier the process for me. But yeah, that can be an issue. It's just gonna take you longer to get there. But I love working with base meshes. That's why I like to set up my base meshes so I don't have to do all the work, like the same work over and over and over, retopologizing, creating UV maps. Like, if you're gonna do that every time you create a character, it's gonna take you like an overwhelming amount of work. And I like to make it easier for myself if I can. So yeah, long story short, yes, it can be harder. And on my skin shader here for her, I have this map, which I did 2 different versions because I was testing out. This one has way less saturation and more blemishes and darkness around her eyes. This one is more uniform and quote unquote prettier, but it wasn't doing it for me in terms of realism. So I created this one. Of course, you're welcome. So I created this one with more blemishes, and I just like to mix them. The process was both on Photoshop and here on Blender. I mainly like to use Photoshop because it's faster, but Blender you see on your model. So I do on Photoshop and then I refine with Blender if anything didn't look the way I thought it was gonna look. I just do the refinement with Blender. This is the old particle system. Uh, I believe. I just create them from like particles and then I just create. And yeah, that's all. I don't use the I don't use the curves. Um, just because for me this is easier, but it's also a matter of preference. Yeah, same, same. That's exactly why I like to use the old one. Um, I don't know. Some people they just like to set up their entire like curve system, and they're also more knowledgeable with geometry nodes. So there's a lot that you can do in setup, and I know that a lot of artists that do hair in a very like nice way, and they have like so many things already set up in their geometry nodes that they can explore with the new system. But yeah. Okay, so going back to creating this hair. Let me get my reference again. Right now, I'm just really comparing different hairstyles and seeing which one I'm gonna use. This is definitely more along the style that I wanted. Okay. I think the what I don't like about this hair right now is that the size of the roughness is too big, so that makes the hair too smooth still, even though there's roughness to it. Let's try point 0.3. And let's try point 0.3 here too. Maybe point 0.15. Nope. Yeah, I do not like how her hair looks too flat. Let me try and change the shader. So right now I'm just gonna play around with the roughness to see if less roughness gives me more dimension. Hmm. I do like this better, but you can barely see the difference. Let me see different lightings. Oops. Blender crashed. Okay. Um, roughness 0.25. Let me save. Let's try different lighting. Yeah. Eh. Let me just finish. Let me finish putting hair on her, because I feel like that's throwing me off too much, and I can't do anything. Um. Sometimes it's at the right thickness in the root length, but it looks like the character's balding. I don't want to add too many children hair. How to fix that? So this is what we were talking about earlier. When you have sometimes not even just for shorter hair, for longer hair too, um, you're gonna have to create a no particle system just for the root, um, to make it like thicker like root hairs. Or sometimes what you need is to select um, roots. You select the roots and then you press Command plus, subdivide, so you have more nodes. And then with G, you can just bring it up, because sometimes what happens is the root is under the scalp, and that's why you cannot see it. But if it's over the scalp, like it is here, it's pretty visible. Sometimes that can be the problem, or depending on the thickness that you chose for your root, it's it's not gonna show, and then you're gonna have to create a new layer of hair just for the root, which I usually do that because I create multiple layers of particle system for one hair. Um, the eyebrows here has 4 different particle systems for this one eyebrow, and 3 different particle systems for the lashes. But yeah, this problem with the roots, I used to have it a lot until I learned to select roots. Yeah, yeah. For the top of the hair, I have 2 right now, and I'm probably gonna create about like 4 more for the top of the hair. So the hair on top, I usually have about 5 to 6 different layers. Learn that from Pixar or something. Oh yeah, that helps a lot to make the roots more visible. Um, the one that I did of Bella Hadid, I have 6 layers of hair. So yeah, this one, yeah, I have a lot of layers here. Is it not? Is it not visible? Are you guys able to see my entire screen? I don't feel like. I don't know if you guys can see all of it. Oh, now you should be able to see all of it. Yes, you need to learn anatomy to make the likeness better because you need to understand what is it that you're not seeing in on the picture of that's a reference that is not right. And sometimes it's bone structure and muscle thickness, and those things, they change the subtle things that are not visible and distinguishable in pictures. But you do have to understand very well the structure of cheekbones and flesh, and just how the like fibers uh, of the muscle like work in the directions that they work, so you can better sculpt, because likeness changes a lot in subtle details. If you like the muscle, or there's a little bit more fat in one place, or their cheekbones are a little bit more um, pr- like pronounced in one area, that will change completely like who they are, what they look like, and things like that. So yeah, especially the structure of the face, position of the eyes changes a lot the likeness too. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let's keep on going. Now I'm adding more hair. I think that you probably do know anatomy. You just it's probably just the case where you feel where it's right and where it's wrong, and from that feeling of like it doesn't feel right or it feels right, you go to the right places. Um, but for me, the more I work on my anatomy, the better I can get to the results that I want. But maybe, yeah, maybe you also have a natural talent for it. So I really like the roots of this hair. I hate the way that it comes when it comes down. No, never. Have you ever made Superman? No, I have not. I've never made. I wonder if it's hard. Um, Also, Steph, I wanted to ask you. You probably weren't able to see any of this side panel before, were you? Um, so this is what I took a screenshot of, and I'll be sending in our group. Yes, definitely. I'm definitely gonna. Actually, I'm gonna comb it to make it look more organic because I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be doing this. Okay, yeah. Um, I actually had set up my screen um, because I have one of those like slimmer screens, which is annoying. But now that it's fixed, this particle system 008. This is the one that we created together. So those are the settings right here. But I already took screenshot. No, sorry, I took a screenshot of the render. This is what I'm taking a screenshot of right now. The settings, so you know exactly. So I am doing this artwork right here. I'm doing like my version of this artwork, and I'm using references that I think are very similar to um, create like a real person out of it. But yeah, this is the art. Like I'm creating my own version of this artwork right here. And also, if you're interested, thank you. If you're interested, Steph is part of my Patreon, which um, on my Patreon we have exclusive videos, and this live I made it public, but the all of the lives th- moving forward they're gonna be private. Um, just for my Patreon students, I'm gonna still come to YouTube. We're gonna try to come once a month and create public lives. Um, and here on my Patreon, we also have a group chat where if you're doing character creation, we can work on it together. Um, but just so it's not confusing, Steph, when because you didn't have any of this view, all that I did to create the hair was obviously select my the 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 mesh, um, and then I'll come here and click on the plus sign under particles. I create a new particle system, and then I come to hair, and then I change the material to a material that I created for the hair, and then I put the length to 0.3. And this is where I change the steps to change the quality of the hair. So I put 7, and I always enable B-spline right here. The material needs to be already in the slots of your 3D model. Otherwise, it's not going to show up as an option there. But yeah, you can just create a new material and either select an existing material or create a new one here. And that's how we started. Just if you have any questions regarding to how. Are you in the SpeedChart Discord server? What is SpeedChart? And the so I created a material that's like a principal BSTF, and I just created that from scratch. So what I do for the hair, the reason why I do that is it's because sometimes the hair BSDF or principal hair BSDF, they for some reason makes your hair look thinner. And it's very, 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 very slow. So I just created from scratch. That's what I usually like to do. And then I have different settings. For example, I have one layer that basically is putting like a dark root, another layer for the color of the hair, which is white, gray, some black strings, and some pure white strings. And then I have another layer. This is more dark. I increased the dark, but the reason why I created another one is because when I'm mixing the colors. Okay, this one is lighten, and lighten, the black here is just not gonna show up. So I created a darken mix color node. And then I do the same thing For the specular, I do the same thing for the specular as well, making the roots darker and then making it brighter along the strand. And you can play with all of that with curves. I didn't even needed to use this right here. I could have just used curves info, which is when I'm doing hair, I just use this node right here in different color ramps. Oh, speed chart is somebody. Okay. So if it is, yeah, I'm not there. Also, I need a better reference for white hair. Let me see. Uh, maybe. I think, yeah, but this hair is already just so much better than what I have. I think I really like this. Let's see, Cirilla from The Witcher. Mm, yeah, I think I like Daenerys better. Not wide enough. Yeah, because my hair right now is just looking too much like the Witcher hair, which is too rough. I feel like, yeah, my hair is definitely giving more like a The Witcher vibe. Yeah, it's too dark. Let's change the color of her hair, and let's do it more based on this hair right here. Yeah, the the roots are definitely softer. There's too much hair. It's way too much hair in here. I'm not gonna lie, I already like this a lot better. Let's see. So let me also disable the depth of field of my camera, because that makes it slower too. Okay. So I'm gonna work on making this hair more. I think I still like the top part of the hair. Kinda, sorta. Yeah. Let me bring this down and work on the thickness right there. Okay, we're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. I'm gonna unify length because I think, yeah, these hairs are just. Kind of looks like Billie Eilish. That is so true. Oh my gosh, that is so true. Um, I don't know if you guys know my sculpt of Billie Eilish, but it went viral many times. I like it. I like that sculpt. I feel like that helped me. Let me see if I can show it to you guys. There you go. Yeah. Thank you. Using the same texture. No. It well, one of the textures that I use for this one is a similar. One of the textures that I use for this one, which is like the freckles right here, but not entirely. I usually just for the albedo map though, just for the color, I usually recreate the roughness in the specular maps. Thank you. Did you rig the face fully? Yes. Because my base mesh is already rigged, I I rigged it fully. Oh, for Billy, yes, I did. But for me to achieve this Billie Eilish kind of smile, I did a shape key too. So it's not just the face is rigged, but I also all of these wrinkles they're shape keys. Yes. So I don't know if you're asking me shape keys. I don't know if you're asking because you don't know what it is, or if you're guessing. If you're guessing, you guessed right. If you don't know what shape keys are, essentially um, another layer of sculpt that you can add to your model. So, for example, one of the shape keys that I have here is for the blank. So this is one shape key. So I modeled and sculpted the her eyes closed, and this is a shape key right here. So when I put 0, her eyes are open, and when it's one or um, activated, she has her eyes closed. Yes, like blend shapes. Yes. Um, her entire face is a shape key too, because if I don't have her, um, like if I put 0, like this is the base mesh. Oh my god, this is so funny. Like what? Why does it look so real? Oh my god. Such a- like why did that look so real? Oh my god. Let me go back to my reference because I'm just gonna be laughing. Um, there you go. Okay, I like her. I like her hair a lot better now. But I'm still going to do the the different layers of white and the root of her hair. And for that, I'm gonna have to turn off some of these layers of hair because it's just making my computer extremely slow. There you go. I really like this. Do I ever use Substance Painter? No. I should. I should use Substance Painter. I know that I'm gonna become a much better 3D artist when I do. It's just, it's just timing, I guess, because I've been doing 3D faces for a year, and I'm just taking my time to like learn Blender and exhaust all the possibilities with Blender. It's weird, but I like it. It's weird, but I like it too. I really like this like alien look. So cool. Um, if I ever sell prints, I want to start selling prints. That's definitely one of my goals. Um, but I haven't started as yet. Also because of time management and just trying to like build um and have like more demand. But I definitely want to sell prints too. That's why I like having this take of like art, not only like necessarily just replicating, because when we're doing likeness, it's easy to just become like just trying to replicate and replicate, which is great for technique. But yeah, that's one of my goals. So let's try to mix this with that blonde. Let's see how that looks. No. Okay, so I created this color ramp, which has on the factor this curves info node, and then I chose intercept because that's the one that's going to allow me to change colors along the hair string. But I'm not loving it. It's too. I think this is more natural, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I like this. Now this gives volume to my hair, which is all that I want, is to create that volume instead of being such a flat hair. And it makes it blend with the scalp a little bit better too. Use metahumans and sculpt on top of that. Nice. I have some friends that do that too, and their work is amazing. I think it's just a matter of like your workflow. If it works for you and your style too, I think that's really cool. Now, the second thing I'm gonna do is create a little bit of like random black hairs to also give dimension, but I'm not gonna over exaggerate it though. Yeah, this seems fine. So another um, color mix node, darken, and then put in this color ramp. Uh, the main difference here for this color ramp is that I'm using constant and I'm putting random as a value, because then it chooses random hair and it makes it entirely black or entirely white. And then because I'm doing darken, the white is just gonna be disregarded and then the blacks are gonna make it dark. You see? But because I'm not trying to go fully black, I'm just gonna do just a little. There you go. And this is without it, and that's with it. You see that when, especially like around these parts, when you don't have these black strands, everything's kind of like blended in together. And then when you add the black, you can see more individual strings, which is what I like about it. But I don't want to overuse it and make the hair darker. But this, oh my gosh, it's already looking so much better, in my opinion, than what it was before. Now, I need to bring the hair line down because she's looking a little, just little hair thinning bald spots right here. So just patiently adding more and more strings. Again, guys, if you have anything that you want to say, ask. Please don't be shy. Ask away. Or if you just want to say something, that's fine too. Let's see how that looks. Okay. Nice. Mm. Yeah, it's really not integrating very well. Her bangs, this front part, with the rest of the hair. So let me keep adding hair. Mm, I like that. Yes, 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 yes. Please do. And this video will be available so you can also come back to it. And of course, always, you can always ask me to. Let's see. She's starting to look better. I like where we're going with this. I like her. How do I light my scenes when doing the final render? So, um, I start with that template that I sent earlier. It has like a light, which is this key light right here. Um, and then based on the character, I choose whatever lighting that um, from here, scene world. I try different rotation, different like strengths, and then different types of lighting, and see which one fits my character better, and or the reference that I'm trying to achieve. For this one, it's basically almost all in one. Like, I also used the HDRI Studio that's from Blender. This one right here, the Studio, and then I think I put the strength to like 15 or something, 25, and that's essentially all that I have. 15 actually looks better. Looks a little bit more dramatic. Yeah. And the main light, the key light, is a 45 um, watts of power, radius 0.5, spot size, spot size 90, and I usually like to blend at 1. Yeah, I guess 0.15 was fine. And this is more of like a cold kind of lighting. Just a little bit of blues with a saturation of 0.10. Just because I wanted her skin to look pale. But yeah, the lighting is definitely a very, 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 very important step. Why do I like her better without her eyebrows? Like, I just love her without her eyebrows. Is it weird that I like her like better? That I like her better without her eyebrows? Honestly, I think I like her just like that. And I'm just gonna obviously like add hair to these areas because it's given bold. It's given very much bold. That's it for today, guys. I mean, if anybody has any other questions, but I am okay, satisfied with the progress that I've made today. So going back, she was looking like this. I don't know. The direction is very different. I still don't love the way that her hair looks at the bottom, but also it just looks very like different. This one is giving me more like high fashion, and this one is giving me more of a expressive kind of portrait. See, of course, of course. Thank you so much for staying until the very end. It was a long one. I feel like this is the longest live that I've made. But thank you so much. And again, if you have any questions, just talk to me and we'll see. We'll talk to each other very soon. Bye, guys. Thank you for staying with me, and I'll see you guys later.